Hello everyone, this is Melissa with Enchanted Emerald bringing you a reading here for the winter solstice today, Wednesday, December 21st, 2022. As always, I like to introduce my decks. The deck that I'm using this evening is the Light Zero Tarot, and out of that deck this evening we have the Ten of Swords. And so this person is walking out of the darkness and into the light, which is absolute perfection when we come to talking about the winter solstice, because after today, we have the shortest day and the longest night. And so we are going to be working toward working through some of this darkness so that we can get ourselves back to that springtime and into the light. And so that's what we're also doing emotionally, because this is a season for ourselves as well. We have seasons externally, we have seasons internally with our emotions as well. And so you can see this card, this person is glowing, right? Stepping into that light. So as we work through that darkness, that's what we're going to eventually get to. So I wanted to point out, particularly with the birds, the crows in this, that they're flying. And it's almost as if they're out of the picture, because that's exactly what I noticed when I looked at the card. I feel as though there is a situation, a person, things that are just going to be out of the picture. You are working your way from things from the past, and you are stepping into different things, different patterns, new moves, right, for yourself. And so, I really feel a justice accompanying with this. That's like the word that was coming in with this, and I feel as though you are not afraid anymore to kind of step into that darkness and feel it out. And when we talk about that darkness, it's stepping into that shadow part of ourselves, like feeling feelings that we were probably afraid to feel at one point, that we just kind of stuffed them down inside, and now you're really feeling courageous, really feeling empowered, really feeling like you're ready to sit with those emotions and work through them, because this is a reflective period of time. And I feel like this, it's really just feeling like this is specially designed, right, for us to really have this notion that to all things there is a season. So with this reflective period, you think about how we're closing out our year and how we are thinking about our upcoming year and what we're hoping that comes in, what comes in with that in that new year for us. There comes in with that this rejuvenated type energy, right? As we move through that. I do feel that with us, okay? So I think great things are coming. I do feel like with this card specifically, the read that I'm getting with this is that we want to talk about like our innate ability to really be loved, right? To love and be loved. Our natural ability to just extend kindness and love and gratitude to others and to ourselves, right? And I think that there's this tremendous acceptance that we have to just pull people in, right? To accept them and all of their flaws just as they are. And I feel that because we have that ability, sometimes that is like our default mode, that we kind of like go to autopilot and we do that, right? Especially for empaths, we tend to just accept people as they are or see them at their greatest potential, even though that isn't exactly how they're showing up, right? And so we just see them right where they are. We accept them right where they are. Even if they never start growing beyond that, we're just with it. We love them, we accept them, and we care for them, and we nurture them, right? And so I feel like this has kind of led to, issues where maybe we have done that quite often, or we've learned through those experiences that sometimes we get burned by that. And sometimes the fire gets really hot when we're close to those experiences. And so we kind of back away, but then we find that we are getting closer and closer. The fire is burning hotter and hotter and higher and higher and brighter and all the things. And so new situations come in and they show up a little bit more, like a different situation will come in, but it'll be similar. And it seems to be like a little bit more of a harsh experience for you. And you're like, whoa, I got burned again. And you're like, it's just like this repeating pattern. And so I just feel like this is really getting to a point where it's just been building and building at these repeating patterns, and it's just like enough is enough, right? You're getting to the point where it's just building so much you can't even take it anymore. So you really are wanting to get yourself into the groove of doing something different. And probably you're at this stage in change where you are not really mentally just thinking about that anymore. You've actually started to make those changes. I feel like initially you might have felt like, gosh, this is really out of character for me to start to implement some of these boundaries, really stepping up in terms of really getting out of my comfort zone and implementing those. But I really feel like you might be feeling like you're stepping out of line, so to speak, right? And when I say that, remember when we say that we're stepping out of line, what is norm, or what is, being in line all about is about conforming. And so when we talk about stepping out of line, remember that that's a learned behavior. What would be normal expectations, or what would be expected of us, or what you feel that person or that situation would want from you. And then we kind of like fall in line to just do what's expected of us, right? And we don't always have to do that. Right, so we have to get ourselves into the groove of honoring ourselves sometimes too, and doing what's best for ourselves as well. And so I really feel like it's to the point where it's almost like gone are the days, right? This phrase kind of comes in with that. Like, I feel like it's totally leaving the past in the past. The energy is really, really feeling distant. And, I see this train and it's moving full-fledged at full speed, right? And then all of a sudden it just like comes to a screeching halt. And so it's like the buck stops here, and you are saying no more. None. Not going to do this anymore. And that's where I get that whole notion of a situation or a person or a relationship really just being out of the picture, right? Which is bringing in this transition for you, or this transition energy. And so, I really feel like this could have something to do with someone meddling in your affairs. I feel like there was somebody that was really stepping out of bounds, really getting in your business, really trying to impose what they thought would be the best for you, and you know what's best for you, right? And so I feel like this is a non-issue now. I feel like you're no longer allowing that, and I don't feel like you really had to implement any boundaries. I feel like you simply just removed yourself from the situation. You were just like, I'm done. I'm not doing this. You're like absolutely not interested in any sort of a power struggle. And I feel like you're just like, you and your mama, you can keep your drama. I'm done. I'm peace out, right? And so you're gone. And I feel like you just stepped away from the situation. So, I feel like with this transition, though, there is a need for us to kind of understand, or to accept with that, then, that it is okay to make waves, right? So when we're talking about relearning, or, because we had these learned behaviors and we have to replace them with different behaviors, right? And make a habit of these new boundaries, or make a new comfort zone for yourself. It's really about understanding that it's okay to make waves, because you're moving differently now, right? You have a whole new air about you. You have a whole new energy accompanying you, and people will feel that. And so maybe they might even feel as though they can't ask you certain things anymore, for favors anymore, right? They might feel compelled not to ask you once you start to implement some things, implement those boundaries, and just even, like I said, just moving with that energy just really is very helpful. But it's okay to stand in your truth, knowing that it's okay to stand in your truth as well. And then deciphering what emotions are yours and what emotions belong to others is helpful as well. And determining, when you're setting that boundary for yourself, what is best for you, right? And understanding that, yeah, sure, they might be disappointed, but that's because there's something that they had, that they were benefiting from by you giving in, or by you going ahead and falling in line with what their expectation was, right? And so, when you stand in your truth, sure, there will be people, places, situations, things that just kind of fall away, right? because now you're creating that new energy around you, and new situations have to come in to support you in terms of what that energy now is, right? So you will be standing alone at times. You will lose friends, right? You will have things fall away from you. Now, don't be worried about that, because ultimately, what happens is, just as the tides kind of change, a whole new set of support people will be coming in, right? To guide you in your next phase of your life, right? And so it's just creating space for those people to be able to show up. So just be mindful throughout this whole thing that if you find yourself standing alone or feeling as though you are alone, that you really and truly are not isolating, or that you know that you're not alone, right? Reach out to the supports that you do have, right? Be it family, close friends. They may not understand exactly what you're going through, but at the end of the day, if this person really truly cares about you, they'll really try to understand what's happening, or what this is all about, right? And then try to understand why it's happening, and then create a new space with you with mutual respect and love and care, right? So ultimately, I think, it's about holding space for those that you love, holding space for yourself, holding space for those that you are leaving in your past, and holding space for those that you're going to embrace in the coming days. And so, with our perfectly imperfect selves and meeting ourselves exactly where we are, it's always going to be a never-ending journey, of course, in walking our path to our truth, to our light, and to our true selves. But I really feel that this process at this point in time that we are in is really just about a breaking open of our core, right, of ourselves as who we are. And there's all of this light like pouring in right now. We are forever changed, and we will be forever changed. We're never going to be going back to who we once were, right? So that version of ourselves will be remaining in the past. And, going forward, our job now is to meet ourselves where we are, and send that version of ourselves that got us here, that remains in the past, send that version of ourselves so much gratitude for the wisdom that you've gained from going through all of those experiences and getting us to where we are. So if you feel the need even to extend forgiveness and love to that person for all that version of you has gone through to get yourself here, by all means do that. It's a time of healing right now. Okay, so I do feel ultimately on the other side of this, only countless blessings await us. And so this is a beautiful energy to be in. And so with that, I ask that you maybe consider what do you feel like is coming in for you in the new year. I am going to be doing a 2023 prediction video, so stay tuned for that. And I do appreciate you, of course, tuning in for the reading for today. If you feel inclined to share with your friends, please do so. As always, if you're interested in your own personal reading, I'd love to be able to do that for you. You can hit me up in the messenger on Facebook, or you can email me at enchantedemeraldny@gmail.com, or you can just simply book a session on the Square site pinned in the description box below here on YouTube, or at the top of my page, Enchanted Emerald on my Facebook business page. So thank you so much, and I hope everybody has an amazing evening, and I will be back with another read for you guys again soon. Take care.